next take. Stay tuned.
LeBron went out of the game and went up the tunnel and into the locker room.
LeBron has a sore right ankle, and he will not return tonight.
He is expected now to miss back-to-back games against the Clippers and Blazers.
Right now, he needs more rest for that ankle. And, he talked of feeling sharp pains in it over the weekend playing.
He had a setback. His ankle just didn't respond like he had hoped.
He should sit out the rest of the regular season.
I don't think he's going to be able to be fully 100%. He's going to probably have to play with discomfort in it.
Does this mean the Lakers are probably going to be in the play-in tournament? Probably so.
Oh, the drama. What's going on, everybody? Welcome into First Take on a Wednesday. That is Max Kellerman. I'm Molly Karam Rose. We gave Brick the day off today, so Stephen A. will not be here. It is Max versus the
Rick
world.
Needed a day to collect himself
He
after
did.
the shootout that he had the other day.
Yeah, after committing all those crimes.
Yeah.
We got Kendrick Perkins here. Ryan Clark will join us. Dan Orlovsky. Oh, and did I mention Richard Sherman as well? Sherm will be with us live. Do not miss that. Let's get it. And we begin where you started, Max, and that would be with the Lakers. LeBron missing 6 weeks due to a high ankle sprain. The Lakers went 8-12 in 20 games without the four-time MVP. After that, saying the layoff was horrible, James made his much-anticipated return Friday night against the Kings, but then on Sunday night against the Raptors, he suffered a setback again and missed the team's last game Monday night against the Nuggets. Now, he said he's more frustrated than ever. The Lakers are 6th in the West, trying to avoid that play-in tournament, and he is expected to miss the next 2 games against the Clippers and Blazers on Thursday and Friday nights. Max, you're an expert in declines and cliffs and things of that nature. And I know
Ravines.
Yeah. And I know the NBA is truly your favorite. So are we seeing the decline of LeBron James?
Yes, we are. And this is uncharted territory in the history of basketball. No one's ever been at the LeBron James level, including Kareem or anyone, this many minutes into their NBA career. So every minute he remains that way, he resets the record. We don't know what's going to happen. But I'll tell you this, you know what who the highly placed source is, Perk, who has revealed to the world, and now it's been a couple days since he revealed it, that LeBron James is in decline? LeBron James, for some reason, am I the only person who notices is talking about this? A couple days ago, LeBron said, I doubt that I'll be 100. I don't think I knew it was a chance I wasn't going to be 100% this season. In fact, I don't think I'll ever be 100% again in my career. Now, don't tell me, well, no player, blah, 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 you have injuries. No. 100% means 100% of what you have been. And make no mistake about it, LeBron James every year is in the finals and many years has won the championship because when the dust settles, when the smoke clears, it's clear he's still the best player in the world. Are we still sure about that? Because he's going to have to be the best player in the world to get out of the Western Conference. And Perk, you've taken the Clippers to get out of the West. AD looked pretty good to me. He looked pretty good to me. Beating Jokic in a Denver team that had been hot wasn't coming off the second of back-to-back or anything like that. You mean to tell me LeBron is not in decline and the Clippers are going to beat him anyway, Perk?
Well, first of all, Max, every time I come on here, I start to appreciate you more because you start making sense about your basketball talk, right? But then I noticed that common sense ain't that common when it comes to you, all right? A pair of lips could say anything, all right? Growing up in the hood, you know that. A pair of lips could say anything. And this concerns me because just when I thought I could take you down old country, Beaumont, Texas, I can't take you down there, Max. They go see you coming. Now, look, you're going to sit up here and really listen to LeBron's statement and believe that, right? Right? He's playing reverse psychiatry. Like, listen.
Thank you. I said that yesterday, Perk. I can't believe you're taking that at face value. Trying to set the bar low. Carry on.
Max, that is crazy because right before LeBron injury, guess what? We were talking about him winning another MVP. We was talking about him being in the top 3 MVP conversation. And Max, listen, a high ankle sprain, it's not like he had an Achilles tear or he tore his ACL. He's going to bounce back from this. And Max, by the way, you of all people should have learned by evaluating Kevin Durant this year, which are almost all, what is it? What you're saying is almost all the time, whatever it is, that a player that tears his Achilles never come back the way he should, and Kevin Durant did just that. So you're not going to sit up here and tell me that a LeBron James with a high ankle sprain, an injury that could just sideline you for 2 months, that you could ice, you could stem, you could walk around in a boot, and then you could be back to your normal self. History says it. Be back to your normal self in 2 or 3 months, that his career is on the decline. His career, Max? I can understand if you just said this season, but not his career.
A high ankle sprain is like the last stop before you go, uh-oh, right? Like, you hear that, you go, okay, that was a close one. But it's still nothing good. And at LeBron's age, Perk, every setback has to be considered in the context of the age and minutes he's played. Even when earlier in the season, he was stepping on the gas both ends of the floor. And AD came on this show and said, hey, I challenged LeBron when I got to on the defensive side, because we've seen post Pat Riley, Eric Spoelstra, Miami, LeBron clearly thought to himself, if I want to play a long time, I can't have the pedal to the metal on the defensive end all regular season. I'm the only one in the finals every year. He was smart. And then in high leverage moments, he could hit the gas. But I saw him hit the gas earlier this year consistently, regular season, both ends of the floor. And it wasn't clear to me that I'll give it to him. He has to say it. I can't sit there and say, no, somebody else has now replaced him as the best player in the world because he keeps proving in the playoffs. No, it's still him. But in the regular season, when he was playing like he meant it both ends of the floor, I thought Embiid was a more valuable player. I saw James Harden, game for game, be the most valuable player in the NBA this year on the Nets, and that includes LeBron on the Lakers. So the difference now is, in the past, you could say, well, LeBron's really taking it a little easy in the regular. I didn't get the sense he was taking it easy in the regular season. I got the sense that's as good as he can do.
You just
and I don't know if it's
you ignored the whole part that Perk just said about taking it at face value.
Well, because it lines up with what I see.
You're believing him that he's never going to be the same, and that LeBron James believes he's never going to be the same again. That's the spirit of a champion of LeBron James.
Yes, I think
from New York City.
I think he's at 36 years old, having played all the minutes he's played, frustrated with a high ankle sprain. He is checking in with his body, and his body is telling him this ain't 5 years ago.
Why
and
would
he's
you
being
put
real.
that out there? Why would you tell the world that?
Because LeBron has enough confidence to think he can still get it done, even if he's not what he once was.
Perk, go ahead.
Max, didn't 2 years ago LeBron James had an injury where he pulled his groin, right, and was sidelined, and everyone probably had concerns then, and then all of a sudden he turned back the hands of time, came back the following season and delivered in great fashion. You remember that? That was just like a year and a half ago, Max. And by the way, we're talking about a high ankle sprain, right?
Yeah.
My grandmother and my grandfather and senior citizens at nursing homes bounce back and come back 100% from a high ankle sprain, Max. So you're not going to sit up here and tell me that you talking about LeBron.
Hold up, Perk. The point about LeBron is, in the regular season, KD, you can have that. Steph, you can have that. Harden, you can have that. This year, it might be Jokic. Then he has the playoffs, and when the dust settles, he's proven, no, I'm better than those guys. Is that going to be the case in these playoffs? Is that what's going to happen? At the end of these playoffs, are you going to be saying, I watched these playoffs, and LeBron once again proved he's the best player in the world? Because if he doesn't do that, now next year is age 37, and now KD is a year removed from the Achilles, and there are young guns coming.
Jumping all over the place. And the question that Molly asks, are we seeing a decline in LeBron James' game? Right? Not this season. When you talk about a decline, I mean like he's going to continue to get worse year by year.
You think he's going to get better year by year?
He has. He has.
In recent years, no, he hasn't. No, he hasn't.
Max, did you not just come on here a couple months ago?
Didn't they just win the championship?
That doesn't mean he's gotten better from
But
earlier versions.
I just want to make sure they just won the championship.
But wait,
right?
let's be very clear. Molly, since you're the second debater in this, apparently, or the third.
It's not the second debater when you're playing devil's advocate. Please don't get defensive.
If you win, I'm talking to two people. If you win the championship, can you do that and still be in decline? In other words, the question is,
I don't know. Tom Brady apparently did it because he fell off a cliff and he won the championship too.
Where is he now compared to where he used to be? That's decline. If he's not as good now as he used to be, then he is in decline. Yes.
Max, that's not true. Just 3 months ago, he was in the MVP conversation, Max.
But he wasn't number one in my book.
You would have won on the episode on First Take. You would have won hiding. Ducking under the camera because you had to basically apologize because you were telling the world that Kawhi Leonard was the best player in the world. And then all of a sudden, you had to go back.
And LeBron proved it in the playoffs, Perk. He had the playoffs to prove it. He will not have that this year the same way. You see, according to you,